Alien military report, why testing gravity comes before mocking humans, an HFY Sci-Fi story. Transmission number 8472, Galactic Council Military Archives, subject, Human Encounter Protocol Adjustments, classification level, Omega 4, restricted to command. Commander Krishan's mandibles twitched with barely concealed irritation as she scrolled through the mission report. A promising invasion attempt had turned into a galactic embarrassment, the humans were laughing, and the rest of the Galactic Federation wasn't far behind. "Explain," she demanded, her multifaceted eyes glaring at the junior officer who had been assigned to the reconnaissance unit. The officer clicked his claws nervously. "It started with gravity, Commander." "Gravity?" "Yes, ma'am. We neglected to test it thoroughly before deploying our forces." Krishan groaned, her thorax sagging into her chair. "Begin the playback." Recording, Human Planet Reconnaissance Mission Alpha 12. The shimmering distortion of the alien drop pods was supposed to inspire fear. Hundreds of heavily armed Xanthar soldiers emerged from the pods, their exoskeletal armor glinting under Earth's yellow star. "Deploy intimidation protocols," barked Major Thrin, the unit leader. The soldiers began their display, leaping to unnatural heights, firing weapons into the air, and bellowing in a manner they assumed would terrify the native species. A group of humans stood nearby, their mouths agape, not in fear but in barely suppressed laughter. "That guy just jumped like 20 feet and landed on his face," one human exclaimed, pointing at a Xanthar soldier who was struggling to stand. Another soldier attempted an intimidating roar, only to misjudge the planet's gravity and topple backward into a muddy ditch. "Is this a prank?" another human asked, filming the scene with their handheld device. "Did someone call for a circus?" The Xanthar soldiers regrouped, visibly disoriented. Their movements were awkward, their coordination thrown off by the unexpected effects of Earth's gravitational pull. "This can't be right," muttered Major Thrin, consulting his holomap. "The gravity here is supposed to be higher than ours." "Yes," interrupted his second-in-command, who was frantically recalibrating their equipment, "but it seems variable, and these humans appear immune to it." The humans, meanwhile, had started mimicking the Xanthar movements, hopping around exaggeratedly and flailing their arms. The laughter was deafening. The recording paused. Commander Krishan's mandibles clenched tightly. "Let me summarize. You failed to account for gravity variations, made fools of yourselves, and inspired humans to create memes that are now spreading across their digital networks like wildfire. Do I have that correct?" "Yes, Commander," the officer mumbled, his antennae drooping. Krishan exhaled slowly. "Humans are resilient. Their physiology is unexpectedly suited to a range of environments. They thrive under conditions that would cripple most species, and now they're laughing at us." The officer perked up slightly. "Should we prepare a counterattack, Commander?" "No," Krishan replied sharply. "We'll prepare an addendum to the Galactic Protocol. From now on, testing planetary conditions, including gravity, takes precedence over intimidation tactics." Her claws tapped against her desk thoughtfully. "And one more thing, never underestimate humans. If they can turn our failures into comedy, it's only a matter of time before they turn it into a weapon." The officer nodded solemnly. "Understood, Commander." As the junior officer scurried out of the room, Krishan pulled up one of the human meme transmissions. It was a looping video of a Xanthar soldier's graceless leap, accompanied by Earth music labeled Yakety Sax. Her mandibles twitched again, but this time, it might have been a smile. End of report. Addendum: Gravity first, ego second. Alien military report, tactical review and human countermeasure development. Following the failed reconnaissance mission, the Galactic Council convenes a special meeting to address the growing human problem. Galactic Council Headquarters, Sector 47A. The room hummed with tension. Representatives from dozens of species filled the chamber, each seated in their designated gravity-controlled zones. Commander Krishan stood at the central podium, her carapace gleaming under the Council's harsh lighting. "Esteemed representatives," she began, projecting her voice over the assembly, "we have underestimated the humans, and this cannot happen again." The statement was met with murmurs of agreement and a few annoyed chitters. "Humans," she continued, "are not merely another primitive species awaiting subjugation. They possess an infuriating adaptability, an unparalleled capacity for improvisation, and, most concerning of all, a culture that thrives on mockery and resilience. A holographic display flickered to life behind her, showing clips of human memes. The images of Zentha soldiers flailing under Earth's gravity were interspersed with text captions like Gravity 1, Aliens 0 and When Intergalactic Invaders Skip Leg Day. They weaponize humor, snarled Councillor Vux from the Vloran Dominion. How is that a viable strategy? It's more dangerous than you think, Krishan replied. Their humor reinforces their morale, spreads rapidly through their digital networks, and demoralizes their enemies. Even now, our forces report that human civilians are making merchandise from our failures. A representative from the Eltari Collective raised a translucent appendage. Commander, are you suggesting we abandon our plans to subdue Earth? Not at all, Krishan said, her voice sharp, but we must approach this strategically. Testing environmental conditions is only the first step. We also need to counter their cultural tactics. Operation Cultural Containment Initiative. Krishan outlined the plan. 1. Gravity suit calibration. All future operatives deployed to Earth would be equipped with adaptive gravity suits capable of real-time adjustments, no more face plants. 2. Human behavior analysis. A specialized team of cultural anthropologists and social engineers would study human humor and its impact on group cohesion. 3. Counter-humor division. A new unit would be tasked with creating propaganda to undermine human morale. This division would develop alien memes designed to sow confusion and self-doubt among Earth's population. 4. Infiltration tactics. Zentha operatives disguised as humans would spread misinformation about Earth's weaknesses. Targets included their reliance on the Internet, susceptibility to divisive rhetoric, and obsession with trends. Human response. Despite the meticulous planning, the humans were quick to adapt. Within weeks of the counter-humor division's efforts, Earth's internet exploded with new memes mocking the aliens' clumsy attempts at cultural warfare. One particularly viral image depicted a Zentha operative in a poorly fitted human disguise with the caption, "When the aliens think sunglasses and a hat make them invisible." Infiltration attempts were met with unrelenting scrutiny and sarcasm. Humans began leaving fake alien traps in public spaces, cardboard boxes labeled free gravity suit adjustments or elaborate signs reading "Alien invaders, please sign in here." The Galactic Council was baffled. Final transmission. Commander Krishan stood before the Council again, her tone resigned but determined. Humans are unlike any species we've encountered. Their capacity for adaptation and defiance is matched only by their relentless mockery. We must reconsider our approach entirely. A councillor from the Zlark Empire leaned forward. And what approach do you propose, Commander? Diplomacy, she replied, not out of weakness, but necessity. If we cannot defeat them on the battlefield or in culture, we must find a way to coexist. Let them laugh with us instead of at us. The room fell silent. The proposal was radical, but the evidence was undeniable. The humans had turned the tide of an invasion without firing a single shot. And so, the Galactic Council prepared its first diplomatic envoy to Earth, armed not with weapons, but with humility, and perhaps a few jokes of their own. End of report. Addendum. When facing humans, laughter may truly be the best defense. Alien Military Report, the First Galactic Comedy Treaty. Galactic Council Directive No. 8894, Subject, Establishment of Intergalactic Cultural Exchange with Humans. After Commander Krishan's recommendation, the Galactic Council authorized the first diplomatic envoy to Earth. The mission was clear: open peaceful negotiations with humans and explore the uncharted potential of cultural collaboration, particularly in the domain of humor. The envoy's leader, diplomat Zintha, was known for his stoic demeanor and razor-sharp intellect. Humor was not his forte, but the council deemed him the best candidate for dealing with the unpredictable humans. "This is unprecedented," Zintha muttered as his diplomatic cruiser entered Earth's orbit. "A treaty based on laughter, absurd." The pilot, a junior officer named Flynn, chuckled nervously. "Humans have a saying, sir, if you can't beat them, join them." Zintha's antennae twitched. "I have also seen another saying of theirs, don't bring a knife to a gunfight." This mission feels akin to bringing a feather to a plasma cannon. Earth, United Nations Headquarters. The arrival of the alien envoy caused a media frenzy. Human leaders were briefed to maintain a calm and respectful demeanor, but the public had no such restrictions. Crowds gathered outside the UN building with signs that read, "Welcome, aliens, we have snacks and memes, and don't trip this time." Inside the chamber, Zintha stood before a panel of Earth's leaders. He cleared his throat, his translator device whirring softly. "Esteemed representatives of Earth," he began, "we come not as conquerors, but as collaborators. Our species have much to learn from one another, particularly in the realm of cultural exchange." The human leaders nodded, their expressions neutral. Then, the President of Earth, a middle-aged woman with sharp eyes and an easy smile, spoke. "Diplomat Zintha, we welcome you with open arms. However, it's only fair to warn you, humor is serious business here." Zintha hesitated, unsure if this was a joke. "Indeed, we have studied your memes. They are formidable tools of communication and morale." The president grinned. "Then let's test the waters. We've prepared something for you." A large screen flickered to life, displaying a compilation of human-created alien memes. Some were playful, depicting aliens dancing awkwardly or wearing Earth-themed outfits. Others were satirical, poking fun at the initial Zintha invasion. The room erupted in laughter, human laughter. Zintha stared at the screen, his mandibles twitching. "This is your humor?" he asked cautiously. "Yes," the president replied, "but we don't just laugh at others, we laugh at ourselves too. It's what keeps us grounded, metaphorically speaking." Zintha considered this. Perhaps there was more depth to human humor than he had anticipated. The First Treaty of Laughter. The negotiations culminated in the signing of the First Galactic Comedy Treaty. Its key provisions included 1. Cultural exchange programs. Humans and aliens would share comedic traditions, from Earth stand-up comedy to Zintha mimicry duels. 2. Intergalactic meme database. A shared digital platform would allow species across the galaxy to contribute and enjoy humor. 3. Joint gravity research. To avoid further misunderstandings, humans agreed to collaborate on creating an intergalactic standard for gravity calibration. 4. Galactic comedy festivals. Earth would host the first festival, inviting representatives from all member species to compete in a humor-based competition. Post-treaty observations. The treaty's effects were immediate and profound. Memes featuring aliens and humans working together went viral across both Earth and the Galactic Council networks. The Zintha soldiers, once a laughingstock, became reluctant internet celebrities, inspiring a wave of merchandise and goodwill. Commander Krishan, watching the developments from her warship, couldn't help but feel a twinge of satisfaction. "It seems," she mused, "that humor is indeed the strongest force in the galaxy." Meanwhile, on Earth, the Galactic Comedy Festival was in full swing. Zintha reluctantly took the stage for the alien delegation's performance. "How many humans does it take to screw in a light bulb?" he began, his translator pausing dramatically. "None. They will simply invent a robot to do it, then argue on the internet about which model is superior." The audience burst into laughter. Zintha stepped back, startled but pleased. Perhaps there was hope for this alliance after all. End of report. Addendum. Laughter bridges worlds.